No, left hand. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sam was just asking that. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep.
So let's settle ourselves. Welcome to all, whether you're new, whether you're regulars at home. Let us settle into being in the synagogue again with Ma Tovu as we bless our space. We are on page 4 of our Shabbat B'Yachad. Instruments will be coming out for our children to be joining in, percussion instruments. But let us stand as we offer Ma Tovu.
Oh. Wow. Sorry.
We'll get there.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Oh, gosh. Tech team.
That's better.
Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu. Ohalem HaYaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu. Ohalem HaYaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
So now we've established that we love our synagogue, we can sit down and we are going into our Torah study piece. So always, whenever we study Torah, we offer this blessing of studying Torah, of being busy with the words of Torah, which is going to be the whole morning, actually. But Dean, if you can lead us in our blessing over Torah study before Zoe teaches us something this morning. We're at the top of page 5.
You will discover today that we are reading the very last portion of Torah. And that made me think about what are the famous last words of books or poems? What are the famous first words of books or poems? So I thought I'd give you a test. I'm going to read out some first lines of famous books, children's ones and adults' ones, and you can tell me whether you can work out what they are. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. I think Sam's was the first hand up. Go on. You are right. What about... oh, no, separate. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. I think Louise's hand went up. Indeed. How about all children except one grow up? This might be it. You can get a clue a bit. Annie's hand, I think, there. Peter Pan, well done. Last one for the... Oh, no, I'll give you 2 more. A mouse took a stroll through a deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good.
Charlie's hand.
Charlie! Oh, you're about to explode! The Gruffalo! My last one might be a bit harder. It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn, of Mrs. Shear's house. Its eyes were closed. Ooh. Margot? Brilliant. Okay, let's test you a little more and see whether the last lines are any easier. But wherever they go, and whatever happens to them on the way, that's very impressive, in that enchanted place on the top of the forest, a little boy and his bear will always be playing. That got me too. I'm so glad everyone else is crying. I was like, oh, I think, Rachel, your hand was up first. It is the House of Pooh corner, Winnie the Pooh. How about, then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. Oh, I think Phoebe? The Hungry Caterpillar. And just because I started with it, so as you know, I finished with it. The scar had not pained Harry for 19 years. All was well. Yeah, do you know it? Harry Potter, the last Harry Potter book. Good, okay, so you're going to hear, admittedly, the start of the last portion of Torah, but maybe we'll hear the last line as well and see if that can be ingrained in your head as much as these are.
So, something else that we're going to do during the service that was superb is to permeate it with bits of advice that some of our parents or adult members of the congregation, and if you haven't been given the opportunity to do that, then Zoe will nip round with something to be an aide memoir to give us advice, because that's what Moses is doing and saying Torah is really important. So, but one of the pieces of advice, I'm going to preempt Daniel, was exactly this piece that we sing together at the top of page 6. It is not your responsibility to finish the work, but neither are you free to stop doing it. A mizmor for something, a psalm for something, what would we do it for? What's today? Sam? Shabbat, mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, page 6. Baruch Shama v'haya ha'olam baruch hu. I'm on page 7. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam hamchulal b'fi amo Meshubach umfa'al v'shon chasidav v'avadav b'shvachot u'vizmerot nagadel chavanam lichecha malkeinu yechid chei ha'olamim Baruch atah Adonai melech mechulal b'tishbachot. I need Ivriya up for Kol Ha'olam Kulo. The words of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav. The world's a very narrow bridge, but the important thing is not to make ourselves afraid of the next thing we do. So up onto the bima, please. Except Sam, who's playing. But everyone else, come up onto the bima. Chloe, will you come too? Great.
Ha'olam kulo geshet sameot geshet sameot geshet sameot ha'olam kulo geshet sameot geshet
We're going to stand for the Yishtabach, which helps us get ready for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu.
Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz Ki Lecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoteinu Shir U'Shvacha Halel V'Zimra ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בשירי זמרה.
Page 10.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la
down and we'll offer just the Chatzimah, the final blessing for these two blessings, paragraphs that we offer before the Shema. The first, Baruch Ata Adonai, Yotzer Hamorot. And on page 11, Baruch Ata Adonai, Habocher B'Amo Yisrael, B'Yahava. And now the Shema that we offer, and I know that you children have been learning it, learning to sign it, learning to sing it. So stand in your seats. Let's stand for the Shema this morning, and with all your energy, we offer this watchword of prayer. And if we think that we're looking at every piece of advice that the Torah has given us this morning, that the Shema is a prayer that came from Torah. So we get to actually utter the words of Torah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol mo'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavaha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשופך ובקומך. שרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. תזכרו, ועשיתם
את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Sit down. All, with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang this song when something miraculous and wonderful happened.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא.
שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו.
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, כלומה בעזרת ישראל, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. Baruch atah Adonai, God Israel.
Let's stand for the tefillah, for the Amidah, which we offer together energetically.
שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Now I'm inviting, as I often do, the first paragraph of the Amidah that all our Bar Bat Mitzvah students read and lead for us is about our ancestors, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. And I want always for us to be thinking about the people in our own lives that might have really been charmed and interested to see us being here this morning in synagogue together. So you might be thinking of teachers or friends or grandparents or parents So just whoever comes to mind, so that we offer this first paragraph with true kavanah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei v'Imohot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר מושיע מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועצרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים, אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. ונאמרת להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים. We sanctify your name on earth, as in the prophet's vision, the hosts of heaven sing your praise above, for so it is written.
Dosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot.
Kavodo malei olam. ממקומך מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לבדו, הללויה. דובדו, לדובדו, דובדו. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, טובתו לטובתו, טובתו נגיד עוד לך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול, הקדוש ברוך הוא. טובתו לטובתו, טובתו נגיד עוד לך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Let's sit down and we're going to sing Shabbat Day. Yes, ma'am.
ישמחו במלכותך, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Mekadoshei Shvi Shabbat. Kulam yisbu v'yitamdu mituveka Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. B'Shvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Dad yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Zecheh l'maseh b'Reshit Shabbat. Zecheh l'maseh b'Reshit Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yisrachu b'malachutacha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat B'Korei, Oneg Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We're on page 12. Ratzeh Adonai Eloheinu b'yamcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'yahavat tekabel, u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel. In your love, accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadacha b'yera na'avod. Foot of page 12. Let's read in English. 20. Foot of page 20. This is post Yom Kippur brain. Foot of page 20. Let us read together our blessing, our prayer for gratitude, for appreciation. We give thanks that you, eternal God, are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. And as we offer our morning prayer for peace, I'd like to invite us to think, where do we hope that our prayer goes to? Where in the world needs prayers? George? Ukraine. Anywhere else people thinking about this morning that they hope that there is peace? Yeah, Orly. Where? Oh, okay. I have not seen that. Okay. Yeah. Theo. Iran and all those protests and all those women and their courage. George? Pakistan, as they get over the flood. I'm thinking of more now. You're all helping me. Shatil? Yemen and coping with the famine there. Stanley? Israel?
Anti-war protesters in Russia.
Anti-war protesters in Russia. I think we've done Ukraine. I'm thinking of the families in Thailand after that incredible shooting attack in the nursery. So we offer prayers for Israel, for Ukraine, for Pakistan, for Iran, for Yemen, for Thailand. Have we forgotten any? Yes. Ethiopia, thank you. Shmuel? Right, for Florida. I know lots of synagogues have been looking after residents in Florida. Maureen? Syria. And Shatil, last one?
There was also a school shooting in Russia not long ago.
Okay, we need to offer this prayer for peace. Sim Shalom.
Shalom. Tova uvracha. Sim shalom. Tova uvracha. Sim shalom.
Shalom. As we think our own thoughts, Dean will lead us straight into Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimroman, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam. Oseh Shalom bimroman, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Beautiful. We are now turning to Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service, where we are reminded on page 22, in days to come, the mountain of God's house will be established as the highest mountain, towering above the hills, and many people will go and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain, of the Eternal One, to the house of the God of Jacob, so that we may learn God's ways and walk in God's paths." And the Bima is really, that's what it is. It's this idea of going up. And we're going to go up and we're going to bring the Torah scroll and we're going to bring it down. And as every Shabbat B'Yachad, we're going to read it down here so that all of you who've not peeked inside a Torah scroll get to look inside. So don't think we've got ark openers, but I would love to see if any of our teachers might grab a talit if they're post-bar bat mitzvah to open. And while they're doing that, on the back of that board that Zoe we were singing along to, is it still there? That what was the last thing we sang? I happened to see on the back a photo of our own Alexander, our own Alex teacher, sitting as he was in the Sephardi synagogue of Amsterdam, and I wanted to show you going to God's house can take all sorts of forms. So I'm just looking to see which one it is. Yes, that's it. Aaron's got it. So if Aaron's going to hold it up, there is Alex sitting like he was that the synagogue was built for him, which was exactly right. And very soon, next month, Maya and Hannah and Joe and others will be going to Amsterdam, we hope. If we literally can get on that train, we will be there. So, but I just love that in different synagogues that happens. So Shmuel and Maya are going to open the ark. Bring some of your students with you to help you undress the Torah. Perfect. Ki mitzion.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim.
Charlie, stay here. Stay here. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai Iti Onoramama Shemo Yachdav.
Adonai Hagdulah, Hagbura v'Hatiferet, v'Hanetzach v'Ha'od, Kol b'Shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamitnaseh, v'kol l'rosh.
So, as the Torah is about to come down, please sit down. We want to start hearing the advice that different adults in the congregation are going to share with us, just as Moses is going to say a few words at the end of his professional career and what he's learned. So, Zoe, if you manage that, I'm going to bring the Torah scroll over, and you guys come down and stand with me.
So, I think hopefully you've been given slips of paper to write your words of wisdom. These pieces of Jewish advice that maybe you've carried through your lives, whether they have been the first things. I remember being told that I must give my cat breakfast before I give myself breakfast. It was the first piece of Jewish wisdom I ever learned. So whether this is advice that you've carried with you or new advice, might anyone share their advice with us?
I've got two here that I think have got Daniel's. It's not your responsibility to finish the task, but neither are you free to stop doing it. And I think for Ollie's, don't eat too much candy. Is that yours? Do not judge a book by its cover.
that a yes or a no? Yeah, go on.
I'm not sure it's supposed to be advice from.
Anything, any bits of advice.
So my grandma's reader, who was my mum's mum, always said if you have the instinct to do something nice, just do it. Don't think about it, you just do it.
I'll repeat that just if people are at home. It is if you have the instinct to do something nice, don't overthink it, just do it. Any other pieces of Jewish wisdom that you've carried with you? Oh, sorry, I've got Jewish wisdom behind me. 1 second.
If the ice cream van is playing music, it's run out of ice cream.
Ooh, cruel. I had a cruel piece of advice behind me, which was someone clearly managed to persuade their child. If the ice cream van is playing music, it means they've run out of ice cream. Smart parenting there. Sam?
I mean, there's a small point to get if he who asks a question, they ask a question of a fool for a minute, but if you don't ask a question, you're a fool for a lifetime.
Ooh, I'll repeat that again. So someone who asks a question is a fool for a minute, but someone who doesn't ask a question is a fool for a lifetime.
And actually, the idea of asking questions is such a Jewish thing, to be constantly asking questions. Any other piece of advice before we hear Moses's? Rachel?
Not a Jewish piece of advice, but prepare the night before.
We could make that Jewish, most definitely. Lovely. Anyone else before we Paul?
An apple a day.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, says the doctor. Thank you. Very nice. Okay, are we ready to have a bit of Torah now and to hear? Let me tell you, and I invite everyone who would like to come and stand close to the Torah, because we have just had what is known as the Song of Moses, the last Song of Moses. And it's very interestingly laid out in Torah in these columns, can you see? Which is very different from Shirat Hayam that we have in the book of Exodus, which is the Song of the Sea. So you see how the words are squished up. This is our everyday scroll that is much more robust and easier to read. It is so heavy on the right hand right now that we'd have to have a very strong volunteer for Hagbah. So think about it. If you think about whether you're ready to volunteer, we would love it if you did. So Moses has just recited this poem to God, really, and has recited this poem to God of all beautiful things, really, that God has done and why we should have this feeling towards God. And then I am reading now the last bit where Moses finishes, and this is the end of Moses' career, but it's the end of his life too. Moses, and here I'm looking to the KT group, because it was your Torah portion, Moses is told what? After a lifetime, 40 plus years of leading this people, he is told he is not allowed to go into Israel, right? And he carries this with him. And we've had a couple of times where we almost feel like he's begging and doesn't quite get it. And here he's told, and actually I took my kids and we did this, that if you're in Jordan and you climb Mount Nebo, you see over into Israel. And Moses is allowed to do this. And I don't know if it's reassuring or it's really painful, kind of, this is as far as you go, you get to see it here. But before that, Moses says some good things, which is, this is really worthwhile what we're all doing. And I really want you to hold on to everything that we've heard from God. But let's hear what you think. We're doing, as we like to do at Shabbat B'Yachad, we're going to have 2 aliyot. The first aliyah, Ya'amdu, Kol Shei Gamru Sefer Shalahem. Everyone is called up who has just finished a good book that they enjoyed. Levarech et HaTorah. So come. It will be very sad if no one has finished a good book. Have you, Charlie? Fantastic. So you should be here. Anyone else? Can we have any grown-ups with us? Because at the moment I'm surrounded only by a couple of people who've had their bar bat mitzvah that can bless. Oh, Dean?
Yes.
Yeah, what was your book?
Oh, it was a Japanese novel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, few of us can say that we've done that. Are we ready? Oh, Valerie's finished a book. What's House of Glass, Hadley Freeman, fantastic. Okay, are we ready? Dean will lead us.
Oh, okay.
One, Chad, Shtayim, Shalosh.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'kavanu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So I have a Plout Chumash here. You can follow on page 1407. That always sounds very impressive, doesn't it? But I'm also going to translate. So if you haven't got the Chumash in front of you, you will be able to follow it together. ויבוא משה וידבר את כל דברי השירה הזאת באוזני העם הוא. והושיע בן נון. ויכל משה לדבר את כל הדברים האלה אל כל ישראל. ויאמר עליהם, שימו לבבכם לכל הדברים אשר אנוכי מעיד בכם היום, אשר תצוום את בניכם לשמוע לעשות את כל דברי התורה הזאת, כי לא דבר ריק הוא מכם, כי הוא חייכם, ובדבר הזה תאריכו ימים על האדמה, אשר אתם עוברים את הירדן, שמה לרשתה. So, Moses came and spoke all these words of the song, of the poem that he had just done, all these words of the poem into the ears of the people. And it was him and Joshua bin Nun, who we know is going to take over from him. And Moses finished speaking all these words to all the people of Israel. And he said to them, put all these words in your heart, literally put them in your heart. And because I have warned all of you today that all these words you need to keep close to you in your hearts. And you should have, I'm hoping, that you have instructed and commanded your children of all these mitzvot to keep and to do all the words of this Torah. How many mitzvot do we say there are in Judaism? B'nai mitzvah class, families. How many did we say? Same as the number of pomegranate seeds. Rafi? 613, thank you. And then Moses says, because this thing is not empty, it's not a kind of trifling matter. This is really important. Kind of like these are the words of wisdom that has been imparted to you. Because God is your life. And through these words, you get to live out your days on this land that you have crossed over the Jordan in order to inherit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher bachar banu Torah emet.
v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you all. Ya'amdu, kol sheyesh lahem yom huledet b'chodesh October or Tishri. Levarech et haTorah. Everyone whose birthday falls in the month of October or the very day itself. Natasha is with us on her actual birthday. Or if you know that your birthday falls in the month of Tishri, that might fall over a bit of September and a bit of October. So really, that's all we've got? Oh, got 3. You don't need to say anything. You can just stand here. Really? Okay. All right. So, Margot and Natasha and Sam. Haj Daim Shalosh. Yes. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen.
So we're going to read the next bit, and then I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what the end of Torah looks like, but you have to come back for Simchat Torah to hear the last words of Torah. And I want you to really think, is this good advice, is this fair what God does? Is this a good end to all Moses' work? So listen out. V'yadaber Adonai el Moshe, be'etzem hayom hazeh lemor, alei el har ha'avarim hazeh, har nivo, asher be'eretz Moav, asher al panei Yerecho, ure'ei et eretz Canaan, asher ani noten livnei Yisrael la'achuza, mot bahar, asher ata ala shama, v'he'asef el amecha, ka'asher met Aharon achecha, bahar hahor, v'ya'asef el amav, al asher me'atam. Be b'toch b'nei Yisrael b'mei marivat kodesh midbar sin al asher lo kidashtem oti b'toch b'nei Yisrael ki mineged tiru et haaretz v'shama lo tavor el haaretz asher ani noten livnei Yisrael. So you get to see what you think about this. So God says to Moses on this very day, saying, I'm asking you to go up onto the mountain of Arabim, this mountain of Arabim, the mountain which is by the mountain of Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, which is basically modern day Jordan, which is right next to Jericho, meaning you can see into it. And you are going to see the land of Canaan that I have given to all of Israel as a possession. And God is pretty graphic here. I don't know if this would feel like a good thing as we grow older or not. And you are going to die here on this mountain that you climb up to. And you are going to be gathered to your people, which again was a nice euphemism that when you die, you are bound up with your people, just as your brother Aaron died on Mount Tahor and was gathered to his brothers that he climbed up to. But all of this, and to be part of the children of Israel. But all of this, the reason for this, is on account when you were with the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kodesh, in the desert of Sin, where you chose, what did God do? What was the big thing Moses did? Joe, what was the big thing Moses did? He hit the rock. Well, you make it sound like it was random. Why did he hit the rock?
So God told him to he needed water, and God told him to speak to the rock, and he got very angry.
That's right. So God said, speak to the rock, and the rock will produce water, which may have been some kind of test. Moses got impatient, or I don't know what happened to him, but he hit the rock, and this is the big punishment for it. You refused, you did not sanctify me amongst all the children of Israel, and rather you set yourself against me. And so therefore you are only allowed to see across to the land, but not to enter into the land that I am giving to the children of Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nita b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on fairness or not. Those that would like to see the very end of Torah, peek, but we won't read it because we will save that for Simchat Torah. But we can see how beautifully the end of this Torah is attached to this eitz. What's the word for eitz? B'nai mitzvah class. What does eitz mean?
Tree.
It means tree, and which is the wood that holds the Torah. So there you can see it without the hordes on Simchat Torah, but we will wait and read it so that we hear the words then. So do I have a willing person that might lift the Torah with a very strong right hand? My eyes fell upon you, Daniel, but I was letting you have a choice there.
We're not spoiling it for us.
Yeah, no spoilers. We can't read that offline.
No, we can't. We can't spoil it. Let's stand up. Let's raise the scroll before we put it away. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you hold yours up, guys. Any of you got cuddly Torah scrolls? Get the tally tag. Thank you for being so spontaneous. Ready to dress Beautiful. Let us stand. We're going to put the scroll away, put that wisdom, but just as we do that, let me just hear any thoughts. Did that feel like a nice, fair rounding up of life? Let's just have 3 responses to Moses, to God. How did you feel? Anyone furious with God, Louise?
Well, I think it's a bit unfair. Yes.
It is a very hard thing to stomach. Sam?
He was trying to help his people when he hit the rock.
Yeah?
It wasn't just.
It wasn't just for his own benefit, we think. Yeah? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else about, yeah, Sam?
I mean, it kind of seems like it's God's fault. It's God kind of sets him up and said, you need to whisper or speak to this rock.
Yeah.
It wasn't his aim, and people were thirsty, so of course he just decided to do what's right. What his people want to get water from the rock by beating it.
Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it? And what about Moses saying, put the words of Torah in your heart? Can you think that there are some things that feel worthy of being put in your heart? Would you like Moses saying that? Or saying this thing of Torah, these words are not trifling, they're not empty? Anyone, did that strike anyone? Daniel?
Well, I have a thought about Judaism, which is not everything makes sense immediately. I think that Judaism is based a lot in doing, and the understanding can come with time. So with Moses and the rock, he may not have understood that why God was telling him to speak to the rock, and he decided to do what he thought made sense by striking it.
Yeah.
If he just followed God's advice, then with time maybe it would have meant something, maybe the words would have meant something.
Yeah, that's very lovely, that idea of doing and then you understand, which of course is this very Jewish idea from Torah, that we're told that the Israelites, when they were said, we're about to give you Torah, the Ten Commandments, they said, okay, na'aseh v'nishma, we'll do it and then we'll understand it. And I think that's what we do in community and with our young people, our children, that we sing the songs before we even know the meaning, that we read Torah before we know everything about Torah, that doing it provides the keys to unlocking much more. So let's prepare we're going to straight now to put our scroll away. We're on page 29. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki nizgav shemo lavado.
Odo aretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren me'amo tehila l'chol chasidav Yisrael am karova Hallelujah, hallelujah.
And as we said earlier with all our B'nai Mitzvah families, et chaim hi lamachazikim ba. Behold, a good doctrine, good teaching has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold on to it.
It is a tree of life for those who hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life for those who hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life for those who hold fast to it and its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life for those who hold fast to it and its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Thanks so much for all the help there. We are going to go straight to Aleinu, which is on page 33, which literally means, I really think about this a lot. Aleinu means, John, what does Aleinu mean? On us. It is on us. So what is it on us to do in our synagogue, in our Jewish learning, to continue the traditions that we've received and have decided that we want to do in ourselves and in our world together, not only about improving the world, but about our Jewish knowledge, the Jewish conversations, our Jewish literacy, so that our Hebrew gets better. We know what Judaism means for us. We are learning, not just in Ivriah, but in every synagogue event. Let me remind me, what is the next festival of this month, chock-a-block of festivals? What is coming up tomorrow night? Sam? This Sam? Not quite yet. We're going to wait for that one. Who's been preparing? Joe? Sukkot tomorrow night. And we've got a very exciting new sukkah that is going to be built to allow more people to be spilling out of it. So yeah, Natasha not there. So we are going to, it is incumbent on us, as John said, it is on us to turn up for Sukkot, to be here, to have hot chocolate in the sukkah, to be hanging things up, to be welcoming Ushpizin special guests, to be really feeling what it means to be in sanctuary, to be reminded that most of the year we live in strong houses, and for these 7 days we're reminded of what it means to be in much more fragile dwellings. On Monday morning, we are dedicating the service to those who've hosted Ukrainian refugees who've been living with them, to bring them in as special guests this year in our sukkah. But I would say, as we offer Aleinu now, it is upon us to be here for Sukkot, to be here for Simchat Torah, to accompany each other through this month of festivals, so that we are here for each other.
Aleinu leshabeach adon hakol, v'natei gedula v'natzeh b'reishit, asher sam elkeinu leyamed et shemo, v'kor aleinu lehamid malchuto. Ein od, 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 ein od. Va'anaku kora'im, v'shachachim, u'modim, lifnei melech malkei hamachim, v'kadosh baruch hu, v'unotei shamayim v'chesed haaretz, v'moshal yikaro b'shamayim ima'al, shtinat uzo tovo v'neroni, hu Eloheinu ein od, 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 ein od. Emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu b'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashemota, elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim v'ma'al, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od, 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 ein od.
That was a heartfelt commitment. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night. Let us go now, pause, change gear a moment as we think and recall and reflect on those who are being remembered at this time. This is the moment just for this time, just if you've got noisy children that we so welcome, just maybe to move to the back of the sanctuary, just so that we can allow those who are remembering their loved ones at this time to just have a moment, a pause, before we offer Kaddish together. So this Shabbat, we think very much of Ruth Hillmore, who died the day before Yom Kippur and whose funeral will take place next Thursday. Beloved member of our congregation, great musician and loved music here. We think also of the yahrzeits that fall at this time. Bessie Sampson, mother of Valerie Boyd Hellner. Beverly Besser, niece of Frank Hellner. Celia Lieberman, mother of Jeffrey Lieberman. Douglas Wolfe, father of Valerie Joseph. Gerda Torrance, friend of Leslie Urbach. Harry Orme, father of Corinne Oppenheimer. Lorna Roberts, mother of Margot Katz. Maurice Papworth, father of Sarah Dibb. Sylvia Mendoza, mother of Jane Mellins. And Uli Adler, aunt of Leslie Urbach. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may those who remember and recall and mourn their loved ones be comforted in their loss, both by us saying the words of the Kaddish with them and by the memories that they hold. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'hayachon v'yomechon, uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, margala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mavorach le'olam almei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitale v'talal shmei dekudusha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shurta. Tushbahata v'nechamata. Da'amiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol b'nei Adam. V'imru amen. Let's sit down. Let's offer a final song together.
The Adonalam that everyone...
Adonalam that we all love and can offer as enthusiastically as you possibly can.
D. Yeah. D. Capo 2. Yeah. Adonalam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol yitzir nivra Adonalam, Le'et nasa, L'chet zokol, Azay melech shemo nikra Adonalam, Adonalam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol yitzir nivra, Le'et nasa, L'chet zokol, Azay melech shemo nikra Adonalam, Ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado enoch nora adon olam v'hu haya v'hu hoveh v'hu yigeh b'tifara adon olam Hashem malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra v'yet nasa v'chet zokol Azay melech shemo nikra adon olam v'hu echad ve'ein sheni laham shelo lahakbira adon olam v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'os v'ha'mizra adon olam Hashem malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra v'yet nasa v'chet zokol Azay melech shemo nikra adon olam v'hu eli v'chai koli v'tzuchet li be'etzara adon olam v'hu nisli u'manos li melach kosid b'yom mikra adon olam Hashem malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra v'yet nasa v'chet zokol Azay melech shemo nikra adon olam b'yado avkid ruchni ve'et tisham la'ayra adon olam ve'im ruchi geviyati li v'lo ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Olam, Zeron, Yitzchak, Et Nasar, V'chem Tzorot, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
All of you, whether you're a child at Ivrea or you're visiting, hop on up to the bima for us to offer Yevarechecha. If you're under 13, no, if you're under 14, we'll have 13-year-olds, or else you're holding the talit. So let's get you all up onto the bima for a final blessing for you all.
Teachers, can I ask you to come and help hold?
I can see it's a tall order that you're all holding your grape juice and being blessed on the bima. So let's all stand as we offer a blessing for all our young people. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and look after you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka. May God turn God's face towards you and be very kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God turn towards you and give you peace, now and always.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So, let us go straight into Vashamru and sing it together before we go down to do Hamotzi.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Oh.
What was it?
Real wine, I think. Sorry.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. The Te'avon, and as we make it over to the Kiddush table, I feel that we should have a little birthday moment. I think there is a cake there. And so that cake is for Natasha's birthday today, but it's Margot's on Tuesday, so she can be sharing too. And Susanna, when's yours? It was last week.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We forgot to have a bit of advice from Mary Poppins. As you're walking over,